Hello everyone, viewers and fans, I guess. I normally don't do this. This feels a little weird to do this. But I just wanted to take some time to thank you, Tormented by Gnomes, for allowing us to have this opportunity. My name is Stephanie, also known as Mayuki. As you can see, that this is my VTuber model because I am very bad on the camera. And I'm also dressed up in my PJs.
No, those are the vibes.
And this is our lovely cast of four. To my direct left is Briggsy, and my bottom left is Dak. My direct right is B. I'm a Bebop. And then my bottom right is Jess. I believe some of y'all are returners, and then the others are new to this. So, you know, we're all kind of like getting into this for the first time. And yeah, once again, this story is the first module of the Candlekeep Mysteries with a little bit of my spin on it. And yeah, if the four players do not have any questions, we're gonna get started.
Let's make like a nose and boogie.
Let's do it.
Briggsy, Justin. Off to a great start. We're off to a great start. I love it already.
I'm gonna have fun today.
Let's bring it. If that's how we started, I'm ready for the rest.
Yeah, that's it.
Write that down.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah,
let me
we'll keep that, right?
That's a good one. That's really good.
I'm not even mad. I'm
Maybe
just
it's
like,
just
dang.
me.
All right, and without further ado, let the story begin. So, once upon a time, there was a place called Candlekeep. It stood like a sentinel along a craggy cliff overlooking a vast sea. It was at once a library, a citadel, and a haven for learning. Those who were deemed worthy of entry into its hallowed halls were rewarded with knowledge and wisdom beyond the dreams of the common folk. But to gain entry, one must surrender a book to its ever-growing collection. Book, works, anything like that, really. Powerful magic kept its secret safe, and not even the most cunning of thieves could steal from its trove. Maybe for now. For every book, scroll, and work was bound to the place by powerful magic as ancient as its stone. Everyone knew that what was given to Candlekeep stayed in Candlekeep. And so, the story starts within the House of Rest, a 3-story bunkhouse located within Candlekeep. This bunkhouse provides seekers. Seekers are known as those who are researching within the library. It is a place to rest and store their gear. Right now, 3 individuals are going about their daily morning routine, or not, if they're still sleeping in. Who knows? When each of these 3 notice an envelope was slipped under the door and into your room. Those that look at it read, a very simple letter. Your request has been approved. Please meet in the Court of Air at 1 p.m. sharp. Now, for the players and for the audience, the Court of Air is essentially the courtyard within Candlekeep after you pass through. And so, we move forward to later in the day, about a quarter before 1 p.m. sharp, so about 12:45 p.m. My 4 players, who would like to be the first to show up? Oh, well, I guess Jess loses the nose ghost.
Well, it appears to be me.
All right, so at 12:45 p.m., we see Jess, if you would like to introduce yourself.
Sure. So I am Yulia. I am a tiefling druid who just really likes botany and flowers and anything green, anything nature, anything that's outside. I am currently trying to fill up this book with all of my any drawing I can find of any new flowers or any new anything that's out there. So I'm really excited to be here, and I'm happy to see what I can find here and what this place has to offer for me right now.
And y'all can see her token is on the screen. Right as Yulia arrives, she's standing there for a little bit, and then almost right after arriving, the next person shows up. Who would like to be the next one? Dak just instantly with the nose goes. I think Briggsy was the last one.
Son of a! I was typing! Okay, well, my character's name is Isabella Boulder Braids, Izzy for short, and she is a fighting centaur. And what she's an aspiring spy. So what she's trying to do is she's trying to become a spy because she comes from a long line of them. And basically, after a traumatic incident in her childhood, all she ever wanted to do was quote unquote disappear. But it's always been kind of like a positive sort of centaur. So instead of like dwelling into that particular event, she said, you know what, I'm going to use it for good. And so she's at Candlekeep, sort of kind of like training because during her spy school, as it were, she actually accidentally bungled a particular mission. And since her superiors didn't want to outright kick her out the school because she's quite earnest, she's, wants to try, they instead sent her to Candlekeep in order to find a piece of a relic that they've been trying to look for several years. They also completely made this up because they just wanted to get her out of their hair. So she's now at Candlekeep trying to look for this relic. And she's kind of slowly realizing she's getting tricked, but at the same time, she's thinking, you know what, maybe if I find something similar, they'll take me back into their fold. So she gets the letter, and yeah, so she basically is going to go down and hang out, but she's kind of like still exhausted from the night before because she's been looking all over the castle for this thing that her superiors had tried to get her to get.
Right. So Yulia, as you're standing there waiting patiently, being the first one, you don't want to be the last person. You don't want to be a second late. You see a pretty tall, compared to you, centaur just approach you.
Excuse me. You're quite tall. I don't know if anyone's ever said that to you before, but hi. I'm sorry. I'm Yulia.
Yulia, my name is Isabella. You can call me Izzy if you'd like. I'm sure you've seen a centaur before. We're not exactly ponies, but I take no offense. Like, I'm actually quite tall in my family. I'm the tallest one in mine. I'm pretty proud of it.
No, I'm sorry. I don't know if I ever have. Like, you're beautiful. Izzy, right?
Izzy, yes, please.
It's really nice to meet you. It's nice to see you.
It is very lovely to meet you, my love. Is there anything to eat around here? I'm afraid once I received a letter, I haven't had a chance to get something to eat on the way down. Is there something here I can probably nibble on, or?
I haven't seen anything yet, but we could probably look for something. I'm sure there might be something available somewhere.
Need anything too crazy? Just something to wake me up a little bit. I've had quite the night.
As the two of you are chatting, you both hear footsteps, and whoever player 3 would like to be. Dak is like just right there already with with. I didn't even ask it yet. All right, B. Unfortunately.
So, I am playing Zazar. I am a tiefling monk, so tiefling squad, rise up, gang, gang. He is a runaway. He ran away from home, being very sick of city life as a young teen. He ended up in a monastery for a little while. And in exchange for cleaning their halls, he was let stay. He picked up some of their fighting styles, as well as really enjoyed their compendiums, their library, particularly their charts and maps, and decided that he would strike out on his own again to chart the world as he saw it, map his travels, and to quite possibly, discover the unknown. He did receive a letter from somebody inviting him to Candlekeep, saying that they were hoping to get in as well. He is looking for them now.
Right. So as you two are looking for food, you see Zazar walking up, kind of sauntering a little bit.
He is also tall. He's lanky. He's got these beautiful, like, floral, like, orange goldenrod robes, and he's just kind of milling around. He's doing his own thing.
Word, who is that wonderful creature over there?
I don't know, but I think he kind of looks like me. Maybe?
You do look similar. Maybe you should go say hi. Maybe you know them from the past, or maybe it's an acquaintance.
Okay, I can try that.
I'm right behind you. Don't worry.
Okay. Yulia walks up to him. Hello.
Your name.
My name. Yes. Sorry. Hi. My name is Yulia. What's your name?
It's Zazar. Nice to meet you.
Cesar. Oh, okay. Nice to meet you too. This is Izzy.
Hello, Zazar. My name is Izzy. It's a pleasure to meet you. And she just takes out a fan and just starts fanning herself, but not in terms of like because of his beauty, but she's legitimately very hot. Like, she's a very straight focus.
Armed. And he just kind of is looking around the courtyard to see if anybody else will come and rescue him from this.
What brings you here, Cesar? We're looking for food right now. Are you hungry?
Ate
I know
already, but thank you.
Okay.
I'm here on business.
Right.
Doesn't sound suspicious at all, but I guess we'll look past that. Do you mind letting
Thank
us
you
know
for
if
your
you find food?
permission.
You know.
Sorry?
Oh wow, he's one of those, I guess, Julia. Okay. So she puts the fan away very smugly and just puts it in the back and just goes, well, I assume you were here for a particular reason. What would that be, considering your importance seems to be high above our level?
I didn't realize it was necessary to disclose my purposes. I'm so sorry. I don't feel like sharing. I'll help you look for food, but my business is my own, and I ask that you respect my privacy. Thank you.
Oh yeah, no, totally. Sorry. I didn't mean to pry or anything. I just was making conversation
Are all
and failing.
your friends like this?
What's
I
that?
wasn't sure if you were all the same like this, because oh my goodness.
I don't have that many friends, but we can go look for food. It's fine. Let's go find food somewhere.
Okay.
As the three of you try to wrap up this conversation, you all hear the sound of the courtyard bell toll once to indicate the time of 1 p.m. And so the three of you then notice an avowed, which is one of like the lowest level of employees, at this library. He is walking towards you with someone trailing slightly behind them, and this avowed is a human that is his face is just like buried in the book that he's holding. Like that's all he's focused on. He's like flipping through the pages like every couple steps, and you all notice he's tripping on his way to you, like just over the rock or like little bumps in the road. But every single time he does, he quickly recovers, almost as if this happens all the time. He does stop in front of y'all, and without even like putting the book down, he's still like book in his face. He says, hello, can you please show me your letters?
Cesar reaches into his scarf and pulls it out. Just here.
Yulia pulls out a couple of very sloppily put together books and finally grabs the piece of paper and hands it over.
Oh dear. So yeah, so she's kind of like, even though she oozes elegance, she's actually a very much of a bumbling fool. So she can't even, she's like searching all over her pockets and all over her shirts looking for it. And she finally looks down, and for some reason, the letter is underneath her heel. So she just tries to suavely grab it from her foot and goes, and here's mine, dear sir.
He doesn't even like make any note, and you kind of gather that he probably didn't even see you trying to look for the letter, and he just takes it from you all, just verifies it with a quick glance, and then he clears his throat. All right, you seem to meet the requirements, and so due to the recent surge of seekers that have been coming into the library recently, I was told by the keeper that the four of you will be assigned to the same room. I, Parmac, and he finally lowers his book, and you just see like an average looking human man with short, messy hair and really, really thick glasses. And he seems like he would rather be doing something else, obviously, like reading his book, but he has been assigned as an avowed to assist you. So he continues, I, Parmac, will be there to assist you in your research, so please, don't hesitate to ask. But if you don't have any questions, please follow me.
I really like your glasses, though. Where did you get those?
I'm pretty sure the keeper provides this for us.
Oh. Carry on. It's fine. I just really like them. They look very stunning on you.
Oh. Right. And then he actually like closes the book for a moment, and then he turns to the fourth member of your group. This is Atheon, he says like a little hesitantly. And then Dak, if you would like to describe what your character looks like.
Sure. Atheon 10, from a kingdom you probably never heard of, and a destiny you're certainly not part of. And if you can see my flowing robes and purple mask, well, come to the right place, and I think I've come to the right place. I sincerely have no idea what I'm looking at between all of you. But I do know that this place has been beckoning me for quite some time. And I think I've walked into the right place. Atheon 10 is wearing a almost cosmic looking shell of a helmet. If you look into it deep enough, you can see the galaxies you've never been to. A long white flowing robe accented with gold trimmings, and seems to almost be levitating as they walk. Atheon 10 comes from a place from a royal family that, as far as they know, is they're simply adventuring, looking for keys to give their family more power. But in reality, Atheon has already been killed in battle 9 times and resurrected by their alien patron that they accidentally, ritually summoned in a deep, dark forest. So now they're looking for a way to access that alien once again. That ritual's failed, and now they're looking for information in places just like this. Maybe not to just give their power to their royal family, but to somehow get off the planet and resurrect and reconnect with that being once more. It's a pleasure to meet you all.
I like him. He's my favorite. It's not you, Yuli. You've always been my favorite. You're my first. You're my number one. But oh my goodness.
Thanks, Izzy. But yeah, I'm a little confused. But they seem really cool.
Hey, no, he's legit.
Yeah. Okay.
Nothing about that seems. No, it's good. It's good.
Hi, Atheon. I'm Yulia. It's nice to Atheon 10. I'm sorry. It's nice to meet you. It's really nice to meet you. Hi.
The pleasure is all mine. I feel like I've come to the right place if you're here.
Oh. I told you.
Okay.
I'm kidding, of course. I'm just looking for some valuable books to read.
Potato.
Yeah. No, same.
And so, if none of y'all had any questions for Parmac, then you're welcome to follow him to your next destination.
Yeah, I'm good.
I think I'm sorted. I'm intrigued to see where we would be led to.
Let's move ahead.
Everybody's all away. Let's move on.
All right, so with that, the 4 of you follow him as he leads you to a cluster across the courtyard of closely huddled flat-top towers of varying heights, some short, some very tall, on the other side. And on the way there, you notice that he's still running into people and things on the ground, almost at one point crashing directly into a wall. He's just very engrossed in that book of his. But every time, he recovers without
Am I able
any
to
issue.
guide him somehow?
Any attempts to assist him, he just he would try to swat your hand away. He's like, I got this, I'm fine. You know, he gives up those vibes. He knows what he's doing. He's just very engrossed in this book, and that's why he just keeps crashing. But you gather with him recovering every time, he's fallen enough that he knows what he's doing.
Okay.
And so he leads you through the hallways through the first tower, and you see just peering in, there's a bunch of halls and doors of just a bunch of seekers in them. Some doors are open, some are slightly open, some are closed, and it is dead silent in there. You don't hear a peep. It's the epitome of those libraries where not a single voice can be heard, not even a cough. Some of y'all who have been here already gather it's probably a spell that has been casted on each of the rooms to prevent any audio from leaking through so that everyone can concentrate on what they're researching. And then he eventually takes you past a particularly long hallway, and eventually he passes by 2 or 3 doors that are left open, and peering in, you see that they're all empty. But he ignores them. And then eventually you find yourselves at the very end of this hallway, and he pulls out a key and unlocks it. As you step in, let me move y'all over to the first bit of the map.
It's like, we'll get here.
I wasn't the only one to notice those doors, right?
All right,
Not just me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Y'all are gonna see just pitch dark for now as I reveal the area to you.
Let's go.
So it'll be in the left side of your screen a little bit. So obviously that's not how you position. Y'all are positioned. I just moved you over. I just threw your tokens on. So feel free to position yourselves.
see.
You should be able to click on your tokens. Let me know.
Guessing this is Julia. There we go.
Yep. Oh.
There we go. Perfect. I know.
Ah!
Now you're all on top of each other.
It's like,
All
why
right.
I feel like horseback.
Oh, we just met.
It's like, God.
Sorry, I'm sorry, I'm
everyone,
sorry.
everyone, give me your
Man,
first rolls of the
wrestling is
night.
the
Perception
best.
checks, please.
Let's
Oh.
go.
Ooh, okay.
Okay, hold on.
I got it. Hold on. Hold on. It's in here somewhere.
Okay, here we go, here we go, here we go. Perception.
Okay.
Oh, wait. I hit the wrong thing. I hit the wrong thing. Ignore it. Ignore that. Stand
Black
by.
tieflings.
I love my perception. I love how it's non-existent.
There you go.
You see that little table of food in the corner, you're like on it.
That's the
Oh.
thing, though. That's the thing, though. It looks like someone has been in here.
Oh.
There are books just like spread out across the desk in front of you, and there is a small little plate of half-eaten snacks. But Izzy, you're the first one to notice that some of the books in the walls are missing. Normally, these should all be filled up.
Am I able to go and examine them a little more to see what specifically which books are missing?
Yeah, so as you're moving forward, you notice that Parmac has kind of looked up from his book, and it's kind of like his eyes are shifting back and forth between like all the books in the area. And then as y'all are like starting to get comfortable, and as you're starting to investigate, you hear him kind of like let out a curse, and he starts like backing up out of the room, and you all see like his face is just like super frantic, and on his way out, he's like speaking super rapidly. He's like, please, nobody touch anything, nobody do anything, I'll be right back. And he just runs out.
That's not a good sign.
So I'm touching everything. Just letting you know.
Oh, but I think we
Yeah, so
shouldn't.
what would you like to do while Parmac is gone?
I'm very hungry, so I want to get those snacks.
By all means. You just head on over to the table with all the half-eaten biscuits, and what, you just plop one in your mouth?
Yep, just pop them in mouth. Is there like tea or anything I could dunk them in?
Yeah,
I feel
there's
like-
a pretty
Okay.
cold tea actually on that table, and it's like you can tell everything has been used, not completely used, but it has definitely been used.
Forgive this debauchery, but I have not eaten anything in an entire day. So she just grabs the biscuits, starts shoving them in her mouth, like rather unbecoming of her, but she's just so hungry. She's just, and just dunks the biscuits all messily into cold tea and just starts eating it.
Are we sure we should be just eating that? I think he said maybe not to, but
I heard.
think it's fine?
Yes.
Okay.
I heard him say no, but my tummy says if I don't eat, I might start eating these lovely books. And
Okay,
seeing
yeah.
as there's books that are already missing, I don't think they're gonna check. So,
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine. Yep.
do you want one?
Yeah.
I would
you go.
take one as
There you
well,
go.
actually. Thank
Yeah.
you.
So there you go. These biscuits.
Let
are
me know
really
if you taste
good.
the poison.
Wait, there's poison in these? Oh no.
Who's to say? There are books missing, and the person who led us here just ran out of the room in a panic. I wouldn't eat anything if I were you, but then again, who am I to stop you?
Roll me Constitution. No, I'm kidding.
I'm about to say, I'll fucking do it.
With that,
Somebody's like, I'll fucking do it. Don't make me do it.
Zazar turns on his heel and starts looking at the shelves, looking for a pattern in the missing books. If there's anything from a specific genre or author, like if there's any kind of rhyme or reason.
Yeah, so you gathered like the majority of the spines on the books are saying stuff related to the planar like travel and stuff like that. And then at some point you circle back to the desk in front of where Izzy and Yulia are, and you notice that this open book is open to the pages of someone's handwritten notes.
I roll to read them.
Yeah, so you examining the book, you notice that it has thick covers made of ornately tooled leather decorated with gold trimmings in a way. And when you flip to the front of the book to see its cover, there's a prominent illustration on the cover. It's the mugshot of a really imposing spellcaster.
Let's see. Anybody know who this is? And Zazar holds up the tome.
Everyone make me Arcana or History checks.
Ooh.
Whichever you prefer.
Me looking at my stats like, neither! Neither!
Okay, so upon Zazar holding the book up, everyone except for Atheon recognizes this man as Mordenkainen, the wizard. He looks, forgive me gnomes if you're there, looks kind of like gnomes, honestly, if you can imagine the visage. It looks pretty close from what I saw of the book. And Yulia, you know that with your Arcana check, you know that he is a prolific archmage and is known for many powerful and useful spells.
He looks very familiar. I think his name escapes me, but I know that like he's like this really powerful wizard, and like he does all these like crazy kind of like spells and stuff. But yeah, he's really well known, I think. Does anyone remember his name? And it's like more.
Here, I thought he was some tormentor of gnomes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've heard that before too, actually.
Yeah, I feel like he's definitely a scourge of them. If
Something
I
like
recall correctly.
that.
And
Yeah.
I also,
His name.
I know, I can't escape it. But
Oh, I
also-
think it was like Mordenkainen or something like that. That sounds
That's
right.
it.
Yeah, yeah, right. Okay, so it wasn't just me. Okay,
Well done.
I mean, he's a famous wizard, but I'm apt to ask why he's currently on a mugshot photo.
Well,
Yeah,
he
that-
can't
that
be
I
that
don't know.
famous if I've never heard of him before, so.
Well,
this is fair.
He's a mugshot photo, but it's inscribed in gold leaf on the cover of a rather large tome of handwritten notes. I beg to wonder who this book actually belongs to.
Is there anything that would identify?
Let's find out. And Zazar starts to kind of leaf through. He's got a thumb in place, kind of holding where the book was open to before, but he's starting to kind of look through and thumb through and see if there's anything that stands out or that he would recognize.
Yeah, so flipping back to the pages that you actually saw earlier, the notes aren't immediately understandable, but you can certainly try to decipher them. It kind of looks like it's in code. So, is anyone else looking over this book with Zazar?
Yeah, I can look.
Yulia kind of peeks over a little bit.
Atheon, are you joining them as well?
I think they've got it covered.
Okay.
I'm
I'm
just
looking-
standing back
I'm
guarding the biscuits.
I'm looking elsewhere. I'm checking around for maybe some loose floorboards or
Okay.
anything I can decipher on the walls.
So, Atheon, roll me investigation, and the three looking at the book, please roll me an Arcana check.
Again,
Or actually, if you're proficient in Arcana, let me know now.
I am not.
I am proficient in Arcana.
Okay. So, apologies on the roll, then we will kind of skip over that as well.
Because I rolled.
So,
Yeah,
Atheon,
cool.
Yeah.
you kind of like walk around. It looks like a pretty normal room. Like someone was in here and they're just not here anymore. Yeah, these books are missing. But as far as you can tell, it's just these books are missing. And this person that should be in here is also missing. So, Zazar being proficient in Arcana, Yulia rolling high enough Arcana, the two of you are able to decipher the code, and you recognize that it is shorthand for a word. Do you say the word out loud?
No.
Yeah.
Okay. That is perfectly okay with me. I'm gonna DM you the word, Jess, if I can find you in my DMs. So by all means, feel free to say the word.
Our movie start.
Scepter? No, scepter. Scepter. I think it's a scepter. I think
As
that's
in-
Right,
I think,
as you
I think
say
right
that.
there.
A blinding flash of light envelops the party.
What have? All I had were biscuits.
Poison
Meh.
biscuits.
Yeah, roll me that
no.
concept. No.
Oh
Wait, roll me that Constitution.
All right, let me move y'all over to the next part of the map as we get into this. So, we will say, Yulia and Zazar being the two that we're looking at it first, you will be kind of like in the front. Atheon and Izzy, you guys are going to be kind of like in the back. And let me reveal this side of the map to you. When the light subsides, the four of you find yourselves in the grand foyer of a building. Has it revealed? No, it has not. I'm being trolled. There you go.
Oh.
There you go.
Oh, great.
Okay.
The
So
ceiling.
This is why we.
Oh no, I'm sorry. The ceiling arches to 15 feet overhead, and long hallways stretch on either side of the foyer as you all kind of like take in your surroundings.
Cesar looks over at the other tiefling. And this is why we don't say words in magical books out loud. Everybody learned today.
I'm sorry. You're right. That was stupid. I'm sorry.
Well, that's why we learn.
Yep. We won't do that again. I promise.
Similar. Okay. I'm a little bit more concerned about not how we got here, but where we are exactly.
Yeah.
Right as you say that out loud, actually, Yulia, in the middle of apologizing to Zazar, you notice behind Zazar, there's a pool of blood just trailing behind them. Like, not on them, but like, if that makes sense, like the pool of blood's like kind of like flowing towards them.
Yep. Cesar, there's something. If you want to just turn around, there's a thing behind. I think there's blood behind you, Cesar. Just look. Just.
He turns around.
Right?
Yeah, so once Yulia brings this attention to you all kind of like turn in the direction, and then you follow the trail of blood. It's actually not that far from the source. And you discover a bloodied elderly man in gray robes, a pool of blood having formed from the wounds that are littering his torso.
Gnomes died so young!
Oh.
Taken before his time!
Gnomes is catching strays, I'm sorry.
Okay, back to the campaign,
Why you had to do him like that?
We're back.
Cesar moves towards the body. Doesn't touch it, but squats down next to it to try and like glean if this person is still alive, and when they are clearly not. Just takes a quiet moment to go, wow.
I wouldn't get too close to that, considering we just got flashed into this room out of nowhere.
Yeah. We should. Oh God, that's a dead person, isn't it? Oh no.
Nice
Oh
and firm.
no.
Take
So,
her back
Zazar-
somewhere. Yes.
As you kneel down, feel free to say what you're gonna say about Yulia, and then
Take her back somewhere that she can breathe.
Yeah, Yulia just kind of like turns around away from it. She's still listening to everybody, but she's just not looking towards it anymore.
Yeah. So Izzy's gonna just like push her behind like her back, just like behind her. Just stay back
Mhm.
down. I guess.
Yep. Thank
Right behind
you, Izzy. Yep.
Atheon is watching very interestingly at everybody in this party so far and is very obviously amused.
I just love the Xanadu vibes. Was that alien from fucking? Was that the man who came to Earth or something? I love I'm getting those vibes.
So Zazar, as you kneel down by his body, the first thing that you notice is he has a brown satchel, that's, you know, like slung over his shoulder, but it's been ripped apart and papers are like scattered everywhere, with some that have seeped into the blood. Are you examining the body, or just kind of like taking a gander?
I'm examining the body at this point, because I was checking to see if he was still alive, so I'm still focused in there.
Okay, so roll me a medicine check.
Whee! me. Shakala, is it bad? How bad is it? Woof. We don't talk about it. Can I?
Can I? Should Izzy help?
It's already too
Well,
late.
he said.
They already rolled it. Yeah. So just a quick glance. Zazar kind of like pokes the body. No response. And you kind of just like look at the party and it's like you just pretty much confirm like, yep, this guy's dead.
Sure is dead.
Atheon, are you also examining the body or no?
Examining the body, but from a couple inches behind. Not going to poke it with anything, but certainly welcome to this expert opinion we just got.
Okay, so you can also roll me a medicine check, but because you're not directly over the body to look, you're going to be rolling a disadvantage. So we'll be taking whichever number's lower.
Well, I don't think this guy needs this anymore. Let's figure out what's going on here.
Oh, okay.
Unfortunately, he is rolling a disadvantage.
Oh no!
Because he didn't move closer. From what you can tell, yeah, this guy's dead.
Okay.
I think I'm
I'm
losing
so
my
glad it
edge here. I mean, at first I didn't know that guy. I'm coming here dealing with tieflings and centaurs. This journey's gone on for way too long.
Gosh, life is so hard for you.
Can
It really is. My heart goes out to you in these trying times. Now, can we get back to the dead body on the floor?
What's up,
Okay.
Isabella?
Well, it's not as if you've provided any more insight, so maybe we could probably try to figure out what his wounds are, or what happened, or how he died, because all I'm getting is that he's dead, and I feel like somebody who's of young age could probably figure that out by now, due to the blood, the fact his clothes is torn, and he has wounds all over his body.
We
So
have
maybe
been
we should
here for
explore where we
exactly
are?
10 seconds. Give me a little time, I'll glean some answers.
I
Do
would.
you
I would
guys
love to
need
help.
help? Do you want me to?
Nope.
I can.
You are good where you are.
Okay.
We will bring something to you if we think it's something you might have any knowledge on. How about that?
Oh, okay. Yeah, that sounds great. I'll be here. Just
Yep.
It's
Yeah.
gonna be fine, Yulia.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna try to give Yulia some of the leftover biscuits because Izzy absolutely stole them before they got flashed in there.
Thank you, Izzy.
To give you some biscuits, am I able to try?
Yeah,
to
you can.
the body.
Are you
Can I
gonna
go
be
closer?
right over
Yeah.
the body and examining it?
Yes.
Like
yes.
more hands-on? Okay.
Yes. I'm gonna be more hands-on.
More
Zazar
hooves
kind of
on.
scoots over.
More hooves on, yes.
More hooves on.
Yeah, who's on exactly?
Anybody? Anybody? All right, it's a tough crowd.
I'm laughing on the inside.
I like this guy. All right, I'll try it. I'm going for the gusto.
The
Yeah!
gusto indeed.
Ooh.
As you're
Angry.
as you go in hooves on, as Atheon said, you discover that this elderly man has been dead for a little more than an hour, and you gather that the cause of death was numerous puncture wounds to his body, and because you were willing to get a little bit more hooves on, you also discover that these wounds don't particularly go that deep. You kind of infer that these weapons were probably daggers and not swords, if that makes sense. And they just kind of like punctured him enough that he was bleeding out by the end of it all.
Word. Not only is this man dead, but it seems like he was tortured. Like you see these ones here, these are from daggers. They didn't want to kill him quickly. Like, it just feels like death by, can she count how many wounds are on there?
We'll say 5.
Okay. It's just like death by 5 puncture wounds. They didn't stab him to death. They stabbed him and let him bleed. This is torture. Oh my goodness.
At this point, Zazar kind of takes his quarterstaff and nudges the satchel to kind of angle it and get a better look at what might have torn it apart. Whether it was a blade or teeth or anything else to that effect.
Very crude cuts made from probably the same daggers that Izzy is talking about.
Is there anything left in the satchel that I can see by poking it?
If you two are taking a look at his body, you can roll me an investigation check. Atheon, you can as well. If you're still kind of like distanced away, you would be rolling at disadvantage.
Well, I was gonna say, Atheon realizes that everyone has their back turned investigating a body that's not moving and is no longer a threat. So Atheon is pretty now focused on the 2 long hallways that could have someone with a dagger to come and approach us as we have our backs turned.
Okay, what would you like to be doing then while they investigate?
I think Atheon would like to start walking down the right corridor to investigate and see where it leads.
Okay, Zazar, if you could roll me your investigation as well.
Oh, reroll. I did roll a 13.
Oh, okay. I didn't
And
know
I
if
realized
you rolled.
that D20 hates me, so I'm gonna roll a physical die for the next check I do.
It's not Avery.
Yeah, no worries. So, like I had mentioned earlier, then during combat would be the only time you would be rolling in game, if that's okay with you. So we'll resolve what Izzy and Zazar see first. You notice as Zazar, you're kind of moving with your quarterstaff, like the satchel. You find a piece of paper that's partially soaked in his blood.
I very carefully, very gingerly reach in to the bag and, by a clean edge, if I can find one, pull out this piece of paper and set it on the ground next to me and just kind of begin trying to, like, if it's folded, pull it apart and see what it says, or otherwise just kind of lay it down and look at it.
Yeah, so easy enough. It's kind of like the bottom part of the page that's soaked. The top half is totally okay. So you grab it out of the pool of blood, and it explains that after coming into this mansion, he specifically says mansion, through the use of the command word, which you gather is scepter, as Yuli had said earlier, there is another command word that is required to open the portal from inside the mansion in order to return back to the original place. But it is hidden in the form of a puzzle. And coincidentally, unfortunately, the blood has soaked the rest of the page, so you don't know what the word is.
And, well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I think we are no longer anywhere near Candlekeep. This page mentions a mansion, and it sounds like we used a word to get here. We need another one to leave, and we don't know what it is.
I imagine the blood-soaked paper had the answer.
I doubt it. It says there's a puzzle somewhere around here that will reveal the answer we're looking for, but until then, we're stuck.
Well, no use crying over spilled blood. At least now we know what happened to him, and now we know what we would need to do. I think, at this point, we'd have to do 2 things. We have to find out who murdered this man before he inevitably comes after us, and we also have to find a way out of here. I guess it's pretty straightforward, right?
Straightforward enough. Let's not waste time.
Yeah, I'd rather not. So Izzy actually just trips over her hooves again and just nearly falls flat on her face, but then tries to walk down the hallways to go towards the right to see if there's any other way out that she could see, or if there's any way she can get an idea as to what her surroundings would be. So
Okay, so while the 2 of you are investigating the body, Atheon will be the first to notice. After stepping around the body and so on, he will be the first to notice that there is a set of stairs going up, and it's a little bit difficult to tell on the map. But if y'all see, like, the walls are white, right, and then there's these wooden indicators. Those are doors. So feel free to specify which door you want to by just, like, walking in front of it or clicking on it and letting me know, and then we can resolve what that door is.
I'd like to check out the door on the right, if that's okay. On the right.
Directly here?
Correct.
Okay. Atheon, were you already there?
Yeah, Atheon's standing in front of the doorway as the centaur walks up. Well, Izzy, it's very clearly a door.
Thank you.
And it sounds like y'all found something, but I'd have to imagine that there's more down here than this dead body.
Yes, and I imagine one of those things would be the person responsible for said dead body.
Now that I'm not entirely sure about, but what I am sure about is that maybe you could use your hooves to, I don't know, kick down this door.
Say no more. What do I roll?
You can roll me athletics. You roll me athletics.
Oh, I want to athletics. I'm on it.
Do it.
That's
Do
like
it. Do it. Do it. Do it.
Burst that door down.
acrobatics. Yeah, that's my love language. Damn it! Wait.
I said athletics. You can reroll it. You have athletics. I said
I
athletics.
know, I hit the wrong one. That's what I was like,
Yeah.
wait.
Wait a second.
Reroll.
Yeah, roll.
All right, there we go. There we go. Much better.
There we go, Jim.
Athia moves out of the way as you turn and you just kick with your front or back hooves.
Oh, you always gotta hit. You gotta hit the back hoof.
Yeah.
All right, so you turn around and then you just kick backwards, and without any resistance, this door just swings wide open. And you are the first to see, and then Atheon being right next to you, you guys notice a large iron stove taking up one wall, and the rest of the room is filled with large tables and empty racks. The pots, pans, and cooking utensils are scattered all over, and there are signs of someone or something having ransacked the entire kitchen for perhaps food, as I reveal the map to you, or this bit to you.
Well, would you look at that? It's great having a centaur on our team. Maybe I underestimated all of you.
Did you even try the door handle?
Why would I do that?
I did not try the door handle. Thanks.
And why would we do that when I could just kick the door down, which would be much more interesting?
Because we're not animals, or at least most of us aren't.
Izzy slowly raises her hand.
Yes, Izzy?
But centaur.
Oh,
Centaur.
Cesar. Yeah. She's saying that like he is a centaur.
But I see what you're saying. But
I'm making a
joke.
joke.
Oh,
that was a joke.
It was a joke. Oh,
Yulia,
we're gonna go ahead and move on. Yulia, and kind of just gently starts guiding her, and like kind of puts himself between her and the body. Just kind of, okay, we're going this way now. It looks like I'm gonna send you through with the nice horse, lady. Hopefully, don't kick any more doors while we're
Hi, Izzy.
No problem.
Yeah. What? So what? Is there food in here? Is this a kitchen?
It looks like it's been ransacked. I'm not smelling anything. Is there any? Am I able to just smell, see if there's any food around or anything?
Smell check.
Where's the smell check?
Yeah. Everyone give me perception checks.
Hell yeah.
Well,
God damn it!
Perception.
Oh.
I'm oblivious. I know nothing. I hate.
Julia doesn't.
I was gonna roll a physical dice, and I forgot.
You know, it's fine.
I have to live with this
ADHD be hitting,
consequence.
you know?
I have to live with this consequence with my crappy D&D.
So the first, so Izzy, Atheon, and Zazar, you kind of like sniff and also, rely on your senses to kind of like gauge what's going on in this kitchen. And you gather that a lot of the food, or at least the immediate edible stuff, has been taken or eaten already. And then, Yulia, you're the first to notice one of the pans is moving.
Guys, is it one of the pans on the stove that's moving?
It's on the ground, and it's
on the ground.
Turned like upside down. If that makes sense, like the side that you would cook the food is like not facing
it's
you.
It's flipped upside down.
Yeah.
Guys, I know it kind of smells a little funky in here, but I don't think that's supposed to be on the ground. I also don't think it's supposed to be moving.
What are you talking about? Oh.
Do you see the pan? The thing you cook like pancakes with is on the ground.
Yeah, I've had quite a misadventure in the kitchen, and I don't think that's normal.
I'm pretty sure it's not supposed to do that.
Can I throw something at it?
Yeah. You see like a small like teaspoon right next to you on the table.
All right, so I'll grab the teaspoon and chuck it at the pan to see if it does anything.
All right, you chuck it, and it just bounces off the pan with a tink, and the pan does momentarily stop, and then it starts moving again. And the way it's moving, it looks like it's being dragged by either an invisible force, like just dragging it along the ground, or there might be something under it that is pushing it.
Can I kick the pan over? Like, is the pan upside down, I'm assuming?
Yeah, and it's moving.
Okay, can I kick the pan over?
Yeah, so you, confused as heck by this moving pan, you kick it and it flips over, and you see this tiny little winged creature that's curled up under it now.
Oh my god.
What is that?
You might have to check. I can't exactly bend down.
Yulia kind of gets like, she nudges up a little bit closer to like look at it. and look at the little winged guy. What are you?
Be careful.
I'm Cuban.
I'm sorry. What?
Cumin.
Human.
Cumin.
Cumin?
Yeah. Cumin.
As
Human,
in,
like-
spice?
Like, isn't that you'll cook with that, right?
Yes. You mainly use it for meats. Yes.
Oh, okay. So you're hi, Cumin. I'm Yulia. And this is Izzy and Cesar and Atheon 10. What are you?
I'm gonna just tell you now, I can't do that high-pitched voice consistently, especially with me telling you the story. So just imagine he's still talking like that. I was created by the owner of this mansion. Her name was Fistandia. Fistandia, which I will also put in our Discord chat so y'all know.
Fistandia. Okay.
Dan.
Oh, okay. Fistandia. Have you been here a while? You looked like you were just trapped just now.
My masters have been away for a very long time. My fellow homunculus Coriander was created by Freyot. Freyot, which I will also
Great,
put in chat.
a bunch of more names I don't know.
Oh, so coriander. Is he coriander is another spice, right?
Yes, it is. Yes.
Okay. So cumin, do you have you seen coriander in a while? Have you been stuck under that pan for a while?
I've been hiding. Something
Oh.
somehow got into the mansion and attacked us, and I was able to hide in time, but whatever these things were successfully grabbed Coriander and took him somewhere. And like when I say he's tiny, he could like fit in the palm of y'all's hands.
He's
Okay.
small.
He's a little winged guy, yeah. He's
Oh, I'm sorry. We actually just kind of got stuck here ourselves. We don't really know how we got here, but we're trying to get out. Maybe we can. And Yulia kind of looks back to her compadres. Can we? Maybe we can help you get out of here too. Maybe we can, find Coriander together. And maybe this Fistandia of yours, right? Maybe they can help us get out too. What do you think?
He starts shaking his head when you start talking about him getting out, and then he goes on to explain that he cannot leave the kitchen, and you gather his role as a homunculus is to basically make food, and that's his purpose for being in the kitchen.
Okay.
I say we
Oh.
crush this thing.
No.
No. It's fine. Cumin is fine.
That's what
Is
it
he
wants you to think.
Izzy immediately tries to pick him up and protect him.
No, well, okay, so, Cumin, do you know where Fistandia is? Or where, Freyot is? And maybe we can talk to them?
He takes a moment to think, and then says they were last seen in the planetarium.
Planetarium. Okay.
Planetarium. Now you've piqued my interest, little thing. I won't crush you then.
You've done well, little Cumin.
Good job, Cumin.
So he's trying to kind of like make fun of him. So where do you know? I know you haven't left the kitchen, but could you at least provide us a hint exactly as to where the planetarium would be?
He points up.
That's a start. I guess
It's
we
likely
go
up those stairs.
Yeah. I guess
He would also add that he and Coriander have been warned by Fistania and Freyot to not touch any books that have single letters on their spines.
odd.
Okay. Interesting.
We might have to
Thank you for
remember
your
that.
advice.
And then just to be clear, when he says they, he's talking about him and Coriander. They should not be touching the books, but you four are allowed to.
Oh, the spices
Okay.
can't touch the books, but we can.
Oh, and there are little fairy dragons in the, I'm butchering the word, arboretum, the garden.
Arboretum?
Arboretum. And he reassures you that while they're mischievous, they're harmless. So just try to stay out of their way.
Fair enough.
And he points, like, I don't know the, I guess, formation of how y'all are standing, but he points down the hallway of where y'all came from towards, this way.
Okay.
He points in that direction.
Okay. Well.
One last...
Oh, no, go ahead.
It's all right. One last question for you. We read a letter that says there's a puzzle to get out of here. Do you, by any chance, know anything about it?
He shakes his head.
Worth a shot.
Well, thank you, Cumin. Maybe we'll, if we find Coriander, we'll, try and get him back here for you. But, thank you for all your help.
Please do. It's kind of hard to cook alone. He normally helps me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll definitely keep an eye out for him, right? Right, guys? Right?
Also, if
We're
we
gonna-
find him, unrelated, would you be able to cook something for us?
Oh, absolutely. I know, this place is pretty destroyed, but I'm pretty sure there's stuff in the pantry, maybe? Or maybe in the dining room. And then he points, when he says pantry, he points behind him. So this is the, pantry. And then he points to the dining room over here. So it's worth a shot, maybe, afterwards.
Awesome.
Be allowed at this after all. Okay.
Well, we have options as for where to go next. Upstairs, to our right, or through either of those doors.
Well,
Where to first?
well, if we're looking for Coriander, I imagine maybe we should look in the dining room first. I know it seems very obvious, but
Dining room or the pantry. He could be in either. I don't think these homunculi are allowed anywhere else.
true. But yeah, so if they're not allowed, maybe we should check both.
Yeah.
Let's split up. We're in 4. Let's take 2 to each room.
All right,
I'll take the pantry.
I'll take the dining room.
I'll take the dining room too.
Come on, Yulia, let's go.
So
Sure,
please
I'm so
position
excited
yourself
to
so I
find
know.
more of these monsters.
Stephanie's
Jack,
like,
what was
can you
that?
just move?
Yeah, it just helps for the viewers as well, you know? Like, I can track y'all. So Zazar and Atheon are looking at the pantry.
And Dak, what did you say before that?
I was saying, I'm just so excited to look for more of these talking monsters in the kitchen.
Well,
All right.
maybe these talking monsters know how to get us out of here, so suck it up.
They just go so well together, don't they, Yulia?
They seem like a very nice pair together.
Oh, yes.
I hope they become friends.
I hope so, too. It'll be
Okay.
entertaining.
So, we'll resolve this first. Atheon and Zazar, as you approach the door, you realize that this door is barely hanging on to its hinges. And the minute you touch it, it just tilts and then crash onto the ground.
Didn't do it.
You guys had one job.
I didn't do anything.
Atheon kind of goes into a stance immediately, thinking it's some kind of attack. Already kind of
Go for it.
banked from the original.
And then as you look in, you realize that the shelves have been completely raided. Sacks of flour are torn open, vegetables and preserved meats are scattered all over the floor. Signs of something eating in the pantry itself are obviously noticeable, but as you guys step in, there's no signs of the creature or creatures, because it's a pretty tiny pantry. So just imagine that entire pantry is just in complete disarray.
Okay, well, Cesar tentatively kind of pokes his head inside and just wanders in and starts looking around and looking to see if he can find anything of interest.
Yep, right as you do that, Yulia, with you being in front of the door, you hear sounds of eating and some sort of conversation coming from the dining room.
Izzy, I think there's someone in there.
Someone or some people? Do you know how many you hear?
I hear people talking, eating, I think.
She turns around and looks at the pantry searchers. And that was raided, correct?
Oh, it's trashed in here. He calls.
We got here a bit late, and Atheon picks up the door and kind of swings it at them and drops it again.
Thank you.
Thanks, Atheon. Atheon 10.
Atheon's pretty useful, yeah. Pretty, you know.
Should we knock?
I mean,
do-
No.
I mean, as much
okay.
as I'd want to kick the door down again, I'm not sure if that would be wise here.
Cesar hears, "Do we want to knock?" and just sprints around the back of the corner and goes, "No!"
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, do we go in?
Is there like a handle or anything that denotes that it's unlocked or locked?
Yeah, there's a door handle.
Okay.
Do we just open the door?
I mean, we should probably prepare. If we're interrupting somebody's dinner, I imagine they will not be pleased.
Somebody's
for what?
dinner. It's probably a murderer's dinner. See if you can
True.
look
Oh.
through the slots or any kind of door hole there.
Oh,
Yeah, is there like a keyhole or anything?
that's smart.
Yeah, there's a keyhole.
Probably check that out first before you start barging in and get yourself stabbed.
Yeah. Yulia kind of like quickly like leans down, trying to see if she can see through the keyhole.
Roll me a very hefty perception check.
Let's go.
Yep.
Oh.
Unfortunately, as you try to look through, it's kind of like, I don't know, you can't even really tell what's going on, but it's just pitch black as you look in. You're not sure, like maybe something jammed itself in there.
I don't think I see anything.
Well, you hear something, so clearly.
I hear something, but I see nothing. There's nothing. I can't. This is impossible to look.
I'm gonna kick the door down.
No.
Oh,
I'm with
wait.
that. Kick the door down.
I'm gonna kick the door down.
Oh no!
Even then, right as you are preparing yourself, with Yulia kind of like leaning in with a natural one, as she's leaning forward, she feels the door kind of give way.
Oh.
And unlatching itself from its slot, and you kind of tumble in with the door swinging open, and you see in front of you, across the room, large windows forming the entirety of the wall, looking out on 3 planted beds filled with vegetation. Within the room, there's a crystal chandelier hanging above the dark wood table, and there's a broken chair in front of you, and there are 2 reptilian humanoids that are standing beside it.
Oh.
Oh no!
They are mid-argument as you find yourself tumbling through before them.
Cool.
Oh.
Cool.
And you quickly notice daggers in their hand. Upon seeing you enter, they let out a yelp and charge at you. So you are about here. Isabella's here.
Man.
So, our first initiative roll of the night, ladies and gentlemen.
Break proper rules. Let's go, dude. Yeah, boy. But no valid token was selected? The hey?
Oh, you have to, I forgot to mention, you have to click on your token first, and then you click on initiative in order for it to register.
Yeah. Damn, I had a good initiative.
So,
Damn.
you, since y'all rolled it already, you can edit it again, so it is,
Okay, I'll just do it
yeah,
again.
so you can fix it.
I can just do it again. It's not a big deal.
Oh, I rolled it twice. I'm sorry, May.
Whichever showed up, and then you'll just take the first one, since I forgot to mention that to you. Yeah.
No, you're good. All right,
Yeah,
so I'll
we-
put mine to 3rd. Perfect.
Click on that. I'll do it again. There we go. I'm learning.
Learning things as we go.
Yeah, I don't think I even had to do that. That's funny. Okay.
Never should have come here.
I'm sorry.
You complain too much.
Has everyone adjusted
No,
their rolls? So,
Yeah.
Briggsy, did you want to take the natural 20 roll? Since
Yeah,
that was technically what you rolled, but then,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I'll just
Do I have to roll again?
Well, no, your token.
No, you're good. Your token showed up.
You are
Okay,
fine.
sweet, sweet.
I just didn't click on my token because I'm a dum dum.
Same.
I forgot to cover it with y'all. That's also my bad.
All good, all good.
All right, so top of the round, the kobolds, despite being startled with Yulia kind of crashing in, they're the first to react as they charge before her, charge directly at her with their daggers, and they run towards her, taking corners, like her corners, and they start swinging with their daggers. First one, so they will have advantage on these attack rolls because they have each other next to you. And neither of them are incapacitated. So, the first one, a natural 20.
Shit.
With advantage.
No!
For 6 points of piercing damage. She could go down here.
Jeez.
Oh my God.
no. Oh no.
We had one job. We had one job.
One job!
This is why you should have
It's
kicked
gonna
down
be
the door.
okay.
Should have kicked the door down.
And so, May, I just edit this directly on my character sheet, yeah?
Yeah, you can also
Okay.
click on your token, and in the red bubble, you can type -6 into the
Oh.
bubble, and it'll do the math,
Oh, I
math
see.
for you, yeah.
I see. Fancy.
All right. You say that as the second kobold charges at you with his dagger for a 10. Does a 10 hit?
What's your armor class?
13! No!
Yay!
So, even though the first kobold finds a direct shot right into your shoulder, the second one kind of stumbles over his own ally and completely misses the attack. And they kind of like back up and start growling at you in Draconic.
Ow.
All right, Zazar, you're up. You just heard the commotion, and you see Yulia is on the ground with the blood kind of pouring out of her shoulder.
Okay. I am going to rush up, grab her, and pull her out of the way.
So just a warning, they will get attacks of opportunity on her.
Or can I get in front of her? Can I leap in front of her then?
Yeah, so
Okay.
you were here, right? So you
Yeah.
will take so squeezing through them will take 10 additional feet. So you will get right there if you see my
Okay,
arrows.
perfect. Yep. And then I attack the kobold above me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go ahead, and that is my first quarter step. That'd be a two-handed strike, correct? Or is it that? Because I know one of them is because I have martial arts. They're different.
So what did you want to do? I'm sorry.
I'm gonna attack the one like that's above me first,
Mm-hmm.
and then with my bonus action, I want to swing around and try to hit the other.
Yeah, so you can do that, and you can decide if you want to do
Okay.
one-handed or two-handed.
Okay. I think for the martial arts, it requires one-handed, correct?
The way that works is you can punch them. Or are you punching them or using your quarterstaff?
I'm using the quarterstaff.
Okay, then
Is it-
essentially you're hitting them both with the front and the back end of your quarterstaff for flavor. And so the front end
Okay.
will kind of like will get your proficiency bonus, and then the back end will not. Essentially, that's what your bonus action
Okay.
is.
Then I'm using the two-handed strike. Is it gonna?
Ooh,
14 will hit the kobold above you.
ooh, get him.
Okay.
Excuse me.
And then
Bless you.
Bless you.
does 8 not hit the one below, or are we gonna go ahead and roll it again?
You're always rolling it again. So let's resolve how much damage you do to the first one. So 21 will also
Okay.
hit. So click on quarterstaff
it's
in the chat.
15.
Oh no, we're taking 21. We always take the number on the left unless it's advantage or disadvantage.
Okay. And that is a D8 plus 4 plus 2. So I just say /roll D8.
You can click
correct?
on it. You can actually click on the word
Literally
quarterstaff in
on
your
it.
chat.
Yeah.
Oh, I tried to. It was like crunchy. Okay, so the first hit does 11. I
Yep,
just-
you run right in,
That's
seeing Yulia completely hurt, and you just bonk this kobold on the ground, and he collapses on the ground, unmoving.
Oh, you murdered him.
All right, and then the second one, 6.
Same thing. The second kobold doesn't even have a chance to react as you flip the quarterstaff up into his chin, and he just knocks out.
Fuck him up.
Let's go!
And with that, combat is over in the span of 2 turns.
Damn, I had to do shit.
Good
I
work,
love
team.
that. I love it. Yeah, good job, team. Good job.
And I helped.
Cesar
Izzy's
doing
just
Cesar
standing there
things.
twirling like a teaspoon. Izzy's just standing there twirling the teaspoon she threw it to Pan, just like ready to fight. It's like, oh, it's over. Oh, okay. Go.
This is the last time I let the tiefling enter a room first.
I should have kicked it down. I
I'm
told
sorry.
you.
Are you okay? That got you pretty good in the shoulder,
Yeah.
didn't it?
I'm fine. I just it hurts a little bit, but just a little bit of blood. It's fine.
You don't do so good with blood, do you?
No, that is not always, but it's fine. Yulia starts like digging through her bag. I might have something in here that could fix it. Maybe. Possibly.
Would you like some help?
She's very just like not there right now. She's all like kind of all over the place. Yeah, maybe help.
Okay,
Yeah.
I would like Cesar to like reach out and scoop her up like into a princess carry, and like take her back like over to the dining room table to set her down and take a look.
Oh,
Is the dining room table clear of obstruction? Or is it covered in food?
You see like the kobolds had nearly finished their food, and there's a broken chair, like I mentioned, pretty much right where you're standing right now, and it was just those two kobolds, so we can say like half of the table is used, the other half was clear.
Okay. Do I need to roll anything to pick her up?
Sure, athletics.
Okay.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
Cesar's already a beefcake. Let's go. Athletics. Bam. Eat.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
As you bend down
You
to
are
pick
so
up
heavy!
Yulia, she's so slick with the blood that is still pouring out of her shoulder wound, by the way. You can't find a grip on her, and she kind of, every time you try to pick her up, she keeps like slipping out, and you're not sure if it's because she's too heavy, you're too weak, or if it's because of the blood.
Do you
Oh,
need
it's Cesar. It's fine. It's ow. Okay. No, Cesar. It's fine.
Yep.
It's fine. Oh God. I got something here. She's digging through her bag again. She just there's not much. She has, I believe, an herbalism kit. But that is all. I believe. Yeah. So she's just like, okay, it's fine. just let me just sit here a second. It's fine. I'm
Okay.
fine.
You sure you don't want one of us to at least try to carry you? Or do you... Because you don't look fine. You do not look fine.
She's like zoning out now. What were you gonna say something? Atheon 10?
Oh, can I use healing light? Is that a thing?
Can you show me the description of the spell or ability? I think I
I
know what it is, but just refresh my memory.
We all know what it is.
DM it
This
to
is
you?
for chat. This is so chat knows.
I'm gonna read it out loud or DM it to you.
Just click on it in your features and traits, and it like the bubble icon, the speech bubble icon, and it should pop into chat for us. There we go.
Oh.
So from top to bottom, at first level you gain the ability to channel celestial energy to heal wounds. You have a pool of d6s that you spend to fuel this healing. As a bonus action, you can heal one creature you can see within 60 feet of you, spending dice from the pool. And the maximum number of dice you can spend at once equals to your charisma mod, minimum of 1 die. So yes, you can heal Yulia. Are you choosing to just expend 1d6 or both of your dice?
Both.
Aww. The goat.
Look at this friendship.
So feel free to roll 2d6 in chat, and then that will be how much Yulia heals up.
So what do I type?
/R space and then 2d6.
Yep.
/R space 2d6.
Wait, so 4/R?
Yeah. Forward.
/.
Yeah.
Oh, /.
Yep.
2d6. Got it.
Woo!
Yay! We
So
love healing in this house.
Yeah.
Yulia, as you're kind of like stumbling to right yourself, essentially, Atheon will step forward and kind of pat you on the back, and you feel the wound closing up. It still aches a little bit, but you feel like you're almost a new tiefling, as if you came back from the dead almost.
Oh, wow. Thank you, Atheon 10. That was actually really nice of you. I appreciate
Oh,
that.
it's the least I could do for letting you walk in there on your own, but
Yeah, that happens sometimes with me. I'm sorry, but thank you.
let's not have it happen again.
No, I'm gonna no more looking through keyholes for me. I'm done.
I'm just gonna break the door down next time.
That's why
I
we
like
have the
Izzy's idea.
centaur.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why
I will let you break down the door from here on
I-
out. We're not doing that twice.
Also, thank you, Zazar, for helping me there.
proud of all of
What am I gonna do? Let you die? No.
No, thank
I
you.
wouldn't be very scholarly of any of us.
This is true.
Zazar turns to look at the kobold that he hit second, the one he knocked out just without. Is it dead or unconscious?
Depends. Did you want to knock them unconscious or dead?
What do we think?
Would you have? Is that what the group thinks? Is what you would have done in that situation? Would you have killed them?
No. They're
No? Okay.
unconscious.
Okay.
Atheon wants to step in and kill it.
Yeah, I kind of want him dead.
He could have information. I mean, if we got here somehow, so did this thing.
I mean, we can get the information.
And then we can kill it.
Okay, cool. I want to step on him.
I say we have it set an
Sure.
example. Is the other one also unconscious?
Yeah, they're
No.
both unconscious. Oh, you killed one?
Yeah.
Okay.
I killed the one
Alright.
that did the stabbing and the other one.
Got it. Okay.
Always
Nobody
having no
touched the
fun.
baby.
Fine, we won't kill it, but at some point we're coming across a monster and I am plunging something into its skull.
Have fun
second
there.
this. I second this.
Okay. Whatever you want, Atheon 10.
Okay, so I'm looking at this dude. I'm trying to get any information. Is it dressed in any way, or like, what do we see about it? Describe.
It is the typical lizard folk of a kobold. He is dressed to essentially cover his nether regions that you normally would not show to people, and he has a little dagger and a sling, kind of wrapped up in his little itty bitty clothing, and that seems to be like his only two sources of weaponry. And he doesn't seem to have like any distinguishing like indicators of like where he's from or anything like that. It's just your run-of-the-mill kobold.
Okay, I'd like to inspect the dagger if I can.
Sure. What are you looking for exactly?
I'm looking to see if there's any dried blood on it, because if there is, we know exactly who our perp is.
No roll required then. You just look at the dagger and it looks pretty dirty, and then you remember that at the table next to you there's like a handful of food, and you gather like he had been eating with it. So it's a mix of food and like the food's blood. So you're not 100% sure if there is blood that was from, But even just at a glance, you gather these daggers do look kind of close to those puncture wounds.
Okay. Not ruling anything out, but this could be our culprit. I wonder how they got here.
Do you think maybe they said the same thing I said? I'm not gonna say it again.
Please don't say it again.
I'm not gonna say it again.
Okay.
Although,
Not.
Did it
We're
rhyme
not
with
saying
Hector?
anymore.
yeah, that one. But
We'll
but,
just call it Hector from now on. How about that?
okay.
Hector's a good name.
Yeah, but like, what if I say Hector again, and it gets us out of here?
I don't think it would be that easy.
If you want
plus-
to try, by all
Nope,
means.
nope.
I
I,
wouldn't
I'm
though.
nope. I'm good. I'm gonna not. Nope.
Given what I read earlier, I don't think it's going to be Hector again.
No.
So I think we're safe on that one for now, but best to avoid it.
Hector's been nothing but
Well.
an inconvenience at this point. I'd rather not poke
Yeah.
that particular bear again.
So do you think they
Well-
said the word and got here?
Ideally, probably.
Probably, but I don't know, and I wouldn't bank on it either. They were speaking some other language.
Hmm. Is there anything
Well-
around the dining room we can find as a clue, maybe?
If you want to look, by all means, but would you like to step on this first?
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm gonna look that way.
Yep, you go that way.
You do your
Yeah,
thing.
you don't wanna see this.
It's fine.
Atheon takes Yulia to go look for some clues elsewhere.
Zazar moves to the windows and looks outside
Okay.
while Pretty Pony does her business.
Yeah, so I'm gonna use my, very complicated interrogation tactics for the unconscious one, and I'm going to put a hoof on its neck and shift it a little to wake him up.
Oh, you're trying to wake him up. Okay.
Mhm.
So as you're trying to do that, Zazar steps forward towards the glass window, and you see that there is. I still can't say the word.
Hold on.
Arboretum?
Auditorium.
Arboretum.
Yeah, I think
Arboretum.
Abortum?
Arboretum.
I don't know.
We can say it like 18 different times, and I think we'll all be right at some
I'm gonna
point.
call it the garden.
Garden!
Barba.
Garden is
Alright.
Arboretum.
Zazar steps towards and sees that it's a garden with open arched walls, and there are flowering shrubs and small trees growing between the paved paths that meet in a semicircular patio. There's no sun, but there are two glowing globes hanging above the plants, bathing them in superficial or artificial light, and there are colorful blossoms everywhere, filling the air with perfume that you can kind of smell through the window, but not like completely.
Yep, I got my face smushed into that. Just
Doing your best
baby.
to smell it. Yeah.
Atheon kind of comes over and looks at it in a wondrous gaze. Is almost entranced and mesmerized by it.
Zazar is also looking at it normally. I didn't actually show it.
Oh, and then I will say, with the two of you standing there against the glass, you notice that there is, where is it? A swirling purple miasma that's just enveloping what looks to be the building itself. So let me reveal a little bit more of what you kind of see, like the surroundings of what you've seen so far on this map.
Oh, snap.
Ooh, curious. Well, it's a lovely garden, but we are indeed stuck here. Would anyone like a closer look?
Me.
Oh.
Yulia has like quickly pulled out a couple of like books that she had in her bag, and like opened them up. You can kind of see a couple just like basic like flower sketches in there. And she's like, "Oh, can I? Do you guys think I could go take a closer look? Do you think?
I think I know where the door is. I'll go with you."
Okay. I'd really like to see it,
And-
if you don't
yeah.
mind.
And they skidoodle.
Skedaddle, skedaddle.
So while the two of them are going to the garden, Izzy, I'll say with enough eventual force, you kind of wake up this kobold, and he just like grunts in Draconic angrily at you, trying to like, you took his weapons away, right? Just want to make sure.
He's completely disarmed.
Say again?
He's completely disarmed, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so he's like trying to, bat at you and escape.
And she just looks down curiously at him.
Oh, Atheon's definitely watching this.
Yeah. and I know, like, so I only know Common and Sylvan.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just trying to see if I can figure out how to. Hey, does anybody know Draconian here? I'm a little rusty.
Can't say I do.
No. I don't
Well,
think
let's see.
so.
All right, buddy. Unfortunately, I can't speak your language. I'm still a bit of a novice at my own school of spies, but maybe we can figure out a method of communication we both can agree on. So how about this? We're gonna do nods and shakes of the head in order to communicate. Can you understand me? Nod your head if you can.
You're speaking common, right?
Yeah.
When you ask him that, he kind of growls, and he speaks back to you in common, actually, and says, "I'm not saying a word."
Oh, really? I know. I guess it's kind of hard not to say a word if I step a little harder on your neck, huh?
And he kind of like, lets out a choking sound as you're doing that. But he's you know, as you're pressing your hoof down, he's definitely fighting back, but you can't tell if he's fighting back for his life or fighting back to also tell you stuff.
Right. So she'll loosen up a little bit and, well, you know, it is very easy to put you unconscious, only to wake you up and knock you unconscious again. It's a very common method of torture. I don't particularly want to do this, but I'm kind of on a time limit here, and as much as I'd really, really, really like to kill you, I don't prefer it. It kind of messes up with my schedule. So if we just would not waste time, I just need a few questions answered, and then you can be on your way.
Atheon moves in and then starts reinforcing this. We do have questions for you, and don't listen to my centaur friend. They will start crushing you if you don't start answering some questions here. In fact, I want to know how you got here and why you were here in the first place.
He knows me too well. I will enjoy doing this, so I prefer you answer quickly.
Right. So you have two options, the both of you. We can have Isabella roll intimidation at advantage, or you can both roll intimidation individually. So you two will make the call.
What do you want to do?
I think your advantage roll is the schmoove.
Yeah. Let's see how I do this.
Kinda...
I always forget how to do this. That's not advantage. Give me that.
It is. So the way that works is we're basically taking the higher number.
Okay, I got scared for a second because I was like,
You're good.
There was a step, but I keep mixing it up. Okay, cool.
He just glares at you, still kind of, for a kobold that is, you know, his life is in your hooves, he's not budging.
Very stubborn one, isn't he?
Atheon moves Izzy back a little bit and gets up close to Kobold and say, look, I don't want to see you die. In fact, I don't really care if you live or die, but the fact remains is that we have things to do. So between you and me, let's talk. We can certainly make something happen. How about that?
Are you trying to persuade him now?
I'm trying to persuade him.
Okay, roll me a persuasion check.
Do it.
Do it.
Let's go!
Ooh.
He looks at you. He basically like glances between the two of you and then spits right at Isabella's hooves.
Oh no, I'm gonna kick him. Oh no, I gotta kick him. I'm sorry, I gotta kick him.
By all means.
Kick him. I really want to kick him.
Instinctively, just upon seeing him just spit at your hoof, you just rear your leg or your foot and then just kick him in the face.
Yep.
And he's just knocked out again.
I tried. But you just don't spit on a centaur's hooves. Maybe we can take him with us. Maybe he'll talk later. Who's to say?
Atheon goes to pick up this knocked out creature. You know, actually, that's not a bad idea. Maybe we'll need a body shield later on. And Atheon tries to pick them up and put them over their shoulders.
Way you think.
So you want to carry him?
I'm gonna carry him.
Okay.
I like the way.
You can roll me a strength check. Or athletics, I'm sorry. What
Like a
athletics?
papoose. Have like a scarf or something and just have this kobold like
It's a
swaddled.
little bit difficult. You try to sling him across your shoulders like fireman carry. You feel that if you continue this for too long, your legs or your back are gonna give out, or he's just gonna straight up fall off of you due to his own weight and your slightly lacking strength.
On second thought, and then Atheon drops them back on the ground. I think we can find something else. Maybe we use that dead body over there in the other room. We don't
That's
need this
fair.
guy.
That's fair, but we wouldn't need information from him. Never mind. He's proven to be useless anyway. That's fair.
If you want to carry him, by all means.
I mean, I could try. He could ride on my back. I just would have to tie him up consistently so he doesn't try to literally stab me in my back. Should I roll a strength check? I could try it.
Do y'all have rope though to hold him up there?
Do I have rope?
I don't think.
I think I do.
What do you mean? I could just put a hand axe in his ankle and just have it attached to my pouch. Easy clap.
That is an option. Just impale him.
I mean, I will 100% do it. I am down for that if that is allowed.
Sometimes it be like that.
All right, so first we'll have you roll athletics. See
Okay.
if you would have the strength to be able to carry him.
I do.
Ooh.
You do. All right, so I'll say, just as a heads up, you'll be able to carry this kobold, the unconscious kobold, throughout your adventures, but during
Okay.
combat, you will be moving at half speed due to that extra added weight on you.
That's fine. If anything, they'd have to get close to me anyway for me to beat their asses.
The meat
So.
shield.
So just so
Yeah.
you're aware. So we'll
So-
say for the purpose of this, the kobold is with you, but that in case I forget, just remind me during the rest of
No.
the session.
Oh no, I'm taking notes on my phone, so yeah, we're good.
Okay. So I'm gonna just remove him from the thing. And really quickly, we'll resolve what's happening in the garden before we take our break, as reminded by gnomes.
Yeah.
So, as the two of you stepping in to the garden?
Yes.
Yes.
Let me move. A memento. Let me get a handle on this. There we go.
All right. So,
My gosh,
Zazar and
the
Yulia
total.
are the first ones in, while Isabella and Atheon are still like trying to wrap things up with this kobold. And, how far in are you guys moving? Or are you just kind of staying at the entrance? Okay, you're moving there. Yulia, where are you
Yeah,
going?
kind of moving.
Yulia is trying to get as close to the flowers as possible. She is like ferociously sketching everything she sees into her book right now.
Okay.
She's very, very, very excited. So she is right up against the flowers. So I think right where she is right now, in between the two beds, she's just kind of looking back and forth.
Okay. Perfect. So, right as the two of you are exploring, can you both make me wisdom saving throws?
Oh.
Oh no.
Oh,
Okay,
snap.
that's what
For
it was.
that.
Okay.
Where would I click for that, May?
Come on, physical dice.
So on your
Mhm.
character sheet, there's a little box next to your armor class, or right above skills, actually, that says saving throws. So you click on the
Aha, yep,
wisdom one.
yep,
Yeah.
yep.
What does the physical dice say?
A 7.
Okay.
Oh,
So, Yulia, you feel this puff of gas kind of like wash over you, and your head feels a little muddled for a moment before you just shake it off and you continue vigorously sketching, just so hyper focused. Zazar, as you're walking in, you feel this strange puff of gas and you feel a sense of euphoria, and for the next minute you cannot take reactions and you must roll a d6 at the start of every like couple of seconds.
My
So we'll
God.
say we'll say just roll a couple d6s, like roll me one
Oh my.
and we'll see
Oh
what
my
happens.
God.
Stubbornly
Lord.
stuck in my little thing here. Let me just.
It's getting
3?
interesting though.
3, okay. So you don't use your action or bonus action, and then suddenly you move. Give me a second. Forward. Your full movement forward. You just feel the urge to just move forward, and so you're moving this way.
Okay, so
And then-
that's like maybe. Can I go this way too, or
No, you just move forward. You're just moving in
Okay.
like a random direction. And then we'll say, for the sake of brevity, you continue that for another minute, and then you shake yourself out of your stupor, and then you see Isabella and Atheon kind of like looking at you a little bit amused, seeing you kind of wander around or just standing there.
stretching my legs?
Enjoying the flowers?
Oh, greatly.
Oh,
Hey,
Zazar,
Dion.
do you
Keep
like
the hat
flowers
on.
too? Oh.
Atheon will say, you remember that Cumin had mentioned to beware the fairy dragons in the garden, as they're a little mischievous, but they won't harm you.
So this
And you
is
gather
why,
it's possible what happened.
Why again, we should not have the tiefling wandering into a room on their own. Everybody remembers the little fairy dragons that our other friend in the kitchen had been talking about. Well, I think we've ran into them.
We learned absolutely nothing.
Well, what do you mean? I don't. Is fairy
I mean,
dragons here?
I feel fine. I feel great, actually.
I feel fine.
We're never getting out of here.
Nope.
But the flowers.
And
are
with that, we will take our 5 to 10 minute break for y'all to use the restroom with that wonderful positive note.
But body feels great and nothing is wrong.
Everything is fine.
Everything's fine.
This is fine. Everything's on fire. It's great.
We're good.
Alright, we'll be back in a couple minutes. We'll let everyone stretch their legs, use the restroom really quick, so we'll be right back.